What's up, fellow Legos fans? DJ Legos back for another unsponsored honest review on a 2023 Jurassic Park set celebrating its 30th anniversary. It is the Brachiosaurus Discovery. It is set number 76960. Is recommended for building ages 9 and up. Comes with 512 pieces, and I paid its standard retail price of approximately $80 here in the United States. And this is our first official Brachiosaurus base set for the modern Jurassic World Park line. It's been long awaited, so without further ado, let's start deconstructing the set and see how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. Taking a look at the first figure of Alan Grant here, talking about his accessory first. He does come with one of those barbed tooth pieces in dark tan. That's just to represent the little Velociraptor fossil claw that he has towards the beginning of the film when he scars that kid for life, mentally, I mean. But talking about the actual figure, it's the same general design we've seen for Alan Grant in the previous Jurassic Park base sets. Very similar print to the torso and the face here. It's just updated a little bit for what they want the style and look to be for this wave of sets. That face is really nice. It does look like Sam Neill. Flipping around the back, he does come with some nice back torso detail as well. Again, it's not really new per se. It's kind of similar to what they've done before, but taking the hat off, we have no alternate expression because he's wearing the hat. This is where I would have liked to have seen them utilize the newer Indiana Jones fedora with the hair molded onto it. I think that would have improved this figure a lot, and it would have given him a chance to have an alternate expression based off of what scenes they are recreating here. So maybe they didn't have the mold synergy there, considering it seems like some themes don't talk to others in regards to new molds for figures. But next up is Ellie Sattler. I've already talked about couple elements of this figure before. This figure is pretty much just exclusive through variation of parts. But getting into it, her accessory, she does come with the dark green leaf piece on that little attachment to hold it. That's just to reference her being awed at the plants that they've managed to recreate for the park that are prehistoric. It also has a different scenario for something that you can recreate in the set. But talking about the actual figure, again, with the torso, it's same as the smaller Velociraptor escape set without the dirt marks. It is very nicely printed. I do really like the fact that they utilize coral here for the shirt color. It really reflects what she's wearing in the film. The shirt underneath is pretty nice. It's supposed to be a little bit of a darker blue than what it is, but that is all right. The leg print again continues to be an issue. That down here is supposed to be the skin of her legs showing through. It does not look like anywhere near skin tone. It more looks like she's wearing socks, and I would have loved to have seen this wrap around her legs as well. But going back up to the head, she does come with the Barbara Gordon Lego Batman movie hair in a blonde color here. That is not exclusive to this set and not originating in her, but is still a pretty rare color to get for that hair piece. Talking about the face, this is Phoebe's from one of the Friends sets, the TV show based ones, and It does look nice. It is consistent with the other head that they've made to represent Laura Dern here, but it does look nice. But the main reason they gave her this face is for the shocked expression on the original figure. That is pretty much Phoebe's singing face, but here it's utilized pretty effectively for the it's a dinosaur expression of seeing the Brachiosaurus for the first time. So I think that works out pretty well and is a nice utilization of a face print reuse here. And then back torso printing is pretty standard. But with that face print, that's what I was talking about with Alan Grant there. I wish he had the newer hair hat combo, so we would have gotten a new facial expression to kind of match the look Alan Grant has when he sees the dinosaurs for the first time. And we got the man who spared no expense, John Hammond here. He does come with the same fedora as Alan Grant. Talking about the face, that is really nicely done. It does look like the actor who plays him, rest in peace. It is really nicely detailed, really reflective of his excitement and his general character demeanor. If you got the bigger set that he came in, the torso print is different. He wears a couple similar looking shirts in the film, but the one later is from a later scene. So this one earlier has a couple more pockets, a little bit more lines, and is reflected pretty well. Of course, he does come with his little walking stick with the amber on the tip of the cane there. Kind of wish this was printed with a mosquito in it to better reflect the film, but the Dreams line does show they have the capacity to print that now, so I would like to see that in the future if we get more John Hammond figures, but it still is pretty effective for what it is. Again, no alternate expression because of the lack of hair covering the head there, but you do get some nice back torso printing, which really reflects the costume in the film as well. So taking a look at the dinosaur included in the set, we get our first Brachiosaurus in the Jurassic World line. We did get a Brachiosaurus back in the early 2000s in that dinosaur line, but it was more brick built than specially molded, and yeah, this is our first one for this newer, updated, molded style here. It is molded in this nice light gray plastic with a bunch of sand blue representing all the markings, and it is very nice. You do have this big huge chunk for the main body here that is on all one mold, and unfortunately the legs are molded in, they're not movable, so you're pretty much stuck with this as the default pose for the thing. I'm guessing that's a budgetary reason. If they put the ratchets in there, this might have ballooned the price even more. But talking about the tail before we move on to the head here, also a new mold. It's very similar to the T-Rex, but it's much shorter, and it does have a ratchet in it, so you can move the tail around. It's kind of, I never understood this articulation here on any of the big dinos because you don't have any articulation at the back half of the tail here, so if you're trying to get it to curve, it just doesn't look right. And of course, I should mention the back of this tail is a rubber tip piece, just so kids don't hurt themselves. You do have a 2x3 area of studs here to do what you want with them, however you want to play with it. You have this Ridley tall neck piece up here, recreating the essential element of the Brachiosaurus, and it's all very nicely molded and curved, all nicely printed as well. And then coming up to the head here, this is also representing the Brachiosaurus pretty nicely. It is having that same cartoony kind of style that Lego has for all their dinosaurs, but it is very reflective of what you see in the film. You do have the nice bump there, nice printing to the head here, really nice printing for the eyes as well. And that is on both sides. Really nice molding to the jaw as well, and getting into articulation for all this. You do have articulation. I already mentioned the tail, but you do have the neck here that can go down that far, and that's it. Again, and you can go up that far as well for it being straight up and down, and you can rotate it a full 360 if you want, and it does hinge at any point for that as well. And of course, with that, you do have a nice substantial chunk of cutout here, which does look unsightly, but it is necessary for us to get this articulation here and get that nice range of movement. Up at the top of the head here, we have a neck joint as well. That just goes up that far, down that far, and again, it can pretty much rotate anywhere on that axis and gets you a nice range of movement for the head. And last point of articulation, you do get an opening mouth here, which only opens that far, and it clicks back shut. You do have some nice molded teeth in there as well. They are not come back to me, focus. They are not painted, but they really didn't need to be. So there's our first Brachiosaurus in a long time. So here's the bulk of what you build for the set. You do get Jurassic Park Jeep, and then you get a tree build that incorporates a few different scenes from the films here. But talking about the build experience, it was pretty enjoyable. It went together pretty quickly. The Jeep does have pretty similar build to the smaller set, though there are some substantial differences given that the fact that it's a completely different design for the Jeep. It does have the canvas down and all that. The tree here was pretty fun to build as well. The most tedious part was putting all the branches here with all the leaves, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. So we're going to start by looking at the Jeep first. So like I was saying earlier, this is pretty much the same version of the Jeep that's in the or same model of the Jeep that's in the smaller Dilophosaurus ambush set, but this is changed around a bit just because it's not caked in mud. It doesn't have the top up. There are because this is a bigger set, they were able to divert more pieces to it, just make it look a lot more filled out and have more of the stuff that the smaller version was missing. So starting off at the front here, any decoration that you see is a sticker. Aside from this piece, this is shared with that smaller set. It's a grill piece specifically tailored to the Jeep models here. You do have a sticker on the top of the hood. Again, the color mismatch of the sticker to the plastic is It's not as bad as I've seen on other sets, but it's still not that great. It kind of matches, but it's not fully there. Front bumper here, you do have a nice design to it as well. A lot more pieces, of course, being used to it. You actually have something resembling the actual winch that I complained was lacking on the smaller model. It is included on this one, so that is nice. Headlights, sticker for the pseudo license plate as well. You have some nice build to the fenders here as well, consistent coloring throughout. Again, this thing isn't supposed to be caked in mud, so you get a lot cleaner of a look here. You do have a sticker, and that is repeated on either side just for some details of the actual sides of the doors. You actually have the Jeep logo there, so this is technically an officially licensed product of Jeep. You have the Jurassic Park logo there as well. Going around to the back of the truck here, you do have the spare tire just hanging there, blinker lights as well. You have a nice build for the roll cage here for the holding the canvas. It's pretty simple, but it does hinge back that far, and that just gets you easier access into the Jeep here. So you do have a steering wheel. You have a lever piece utilized for the stick shift. You do have a couple of seats, studs there to seat minifigures. You do have a 4x4 area for another minifigure to sit there as well. Front windshield, you do have this nice build here, utilizing this fender cage piece here in red, just to get the frame look across. That is pretty standard for some Jeeps. Of course, like I said, you can fit 3 minifigures in here, no problem. So we got Hammond here, Sattler there as well in her spot, and then Malcolm and Grant were sitting in the back seat there. So you only have really space for Grant, but you only have 3 minifigures included here. So having them all fit is pretty good in my book. For the other build, you get this nice massive tree here. Putting a minifigure next to the size of it, you can see it's pretty massive. That is for a particular reason, and it has to do with the Brachiosaurus. So this tree is pretty nicely designed. I really like the build experience here. A lot of Technic pieces for the branches though as well. But we're gonna start down here at the base of the tree. So you do have a nice sturdy base here. You have the Jurassic Park little info plaque of letting you know that this is part of the Brachiosaurus exhibit, as well as a little blurb about no feeding or scaring the potential animals, just observing them. At the base of the tree, we kind of have something else here. This is recreating another part of the film when Grant and the kids discover the freshly hatched eggs of the raptors, and they discover that the dinosaurs are reproducing on their own. Life finds a way and all that. So we have a nice little reference to that. You do have this tree utilizing a dark green and coral flower color scheme to represent some prehistoric plants here, which looks very nicely done. I do like how this tree looks artificial, but at the same time kind of different. It's not really like any tree Legos ever built before. kind of fits in with a whole revived fake Jurassic Park aesthetic. On the side of the tree, you have some nice building here, and I want to call out this in particular. You do have a coral frog that's only appeared in 3 other sets, and it is pretty ingeniously used here to represent a different version of a budding flower. That is kind of a calling card. Lego designers like to use frogs in their builds, but this is also a reference to the plot point in the film of frog DNA being used to resurrect the dinosaurs and recreate them. So each of the 30th anniversary sets have a frog in there somewhere, and that is where this one is included. Moving up towards the topper of the tree, you do have this space for a nice minifigure to stand. And this is pretty much the part where Alan and the kids are kind of resting for the night up in the trees to avoid the more dangerous animals, and where they discover the Brachiosaurus eating the leaves when they wake up. So you do have a spot to pose Alan Grant here with that is the other use for Ellie's Settler's accessory there of the leaves, so you can have the Brachiosaurus come in here as well, and you can have the feeding the Brachiosaurus scene, which is pretty cool that they reference that scene as well, not just the one that is mainly recreated in the set, but that does bring me to I wish Lex and Tammy were included in the set to recreate that scene. So I do appreciate that scene being referenced as well, but kind of stinks that we only have Alan to recreate it. And then moving up to the top of the tree here, you have all these spindly branches utilizing various animal tail pieces just to get the various angles. You have a nice coloration of that dark green mixed with the olive, and that looks pretty nice as well. You do have some technique shaping to make this rigid. You do utilize a couple of sausage pieces right here in a brown color, which is only in one other set, just to give some nice curve shaping to the smaller branches. And this is pretty much the best part of the set, and you can have the dino here eating away at the top of the branches as well. It can even reach the highest branches. So that is pretty much all you can ask for with a tree build here. All the extra pieces you can expect with the set. You do get a brick separator with it. That is just for the small amount of Technic, and plus this is a bigger set. They tend to include those anyway, just in case you need it. You do have a smattering of expected pieces of all the studs and tiles and stuff. The stuff we've gotten many times before with extra pieces like the branch, the twig here, the shorter lightsaber rod, the Baraki eyepiece there, but you do get an extra one of that brown sausage piece, which is pretty much the biggest standout here. I really like the fact that that is in that color now. It's so useful for custom building, but yeah. Taking a look at the instructions, we do have one big giant booklet lengthwise. Front of the cover, of course, it's that standard one we've come to expect for the foreseeable future, with a super rendered cover here, QR code and everything. You do have the standard pages up front about the paper bags and the building app. This build is separated into 4 bags, so letting you know what to build, how to use the brick separator if you haven't used one before. You do have Alan Grant here sporting the progress bar for this set. And towards the back of the instructions, you do have completely 75 pages worth of actual building here. Back you do have a nice cross cell for the entire 30th anniversary wave of sets, which is pretty nice. And then you have the parts inventory as always if you need it, and you also have the product feedback, this time with a generic minifigure sporting it. So taking a look at the box, it's that standard $40 to $50 range that we see here. You have the Lego Jurassic Park 30th anniversary logos up the corner there. Set specs, nice product shot of the set in action. Minifigures and Dino down there in the corner. Nice beautiful background to that as well. It does utilize that 30th anniversary color scheme here, which was not present on the original toy line for the merchandise for the original film, but this is pretty much 90s, what we think the 90s was, but really wasn't. But you do have the T-Rex wrap around to the back here. You do have a couple of shots of various action features of the set and play features that I've gone over in the video showcased here, recreating some scenes. Dinosaurs down there at the back. At the end of the day, the build for this set was pretty enjoyable. I do like the design of both. I do like the fact that you can recreate multiple scenes with a tree there. The build of the Jeep is pretty nice. Stickers could be remiss with the quality, but getting ahead of myself there. Overall, nicely done. I really like both builds. They're both superb. With minifigures, I do have a couple of issues that I brought up. Grant could have been improved with a newer Indiana Jones hair hat mold, just so we can get the shock and awe of seeing the Brachiosaurus for the first time. They succeeded with that with Ellie for her face. It's reused from another set, but it works perfectly. The other issue I have with minifigures, they could have included Lex and Tim here as well, the two kids, just to help better recreate that scene in the tree there. They don't make any sense for the first part of the set, that first scene that they're trying to recreate with this set, but they are essential for that second other scene that they're trying to recreate, and we don't really have regular versions of Lex and Tim within this wave. We just, spoiler, we have their dirty versions in the biggest set. So I would have liked to have seen them here as well. Quality, I already stated this, but the color stickers to think remains to be an issue here, and that all brings me to price here. Lego is asking $80 for this set here in America. So let's start breaking this down. Pretty much, we know the Jeep is a $20 set because they do have one in the Dilophosaurus ambush set in this same wave, so that is a $20 vehicle. The tree, I'm going to say, is also a $20 to $30 set, $30 maximum. So the Jeep and the tree combined is going to be a set here. With the minifigures, that's probably a $40 set, if I'm pushing it. So that means that we're paying an additional $40 for the Brachiosaurus. And that's pretty par for the course with these Jurassic Park sets. these ones that are bigger dinos tend to cost more, and they eat up more of the parts budget. And considering that this is our first Brachiosaurus and all the molds are brand new, it probably cost Lego a pretty penny to design this and pay for it. So we kind of got with the price, we kind of lumped it onto there. But this Brachiosaurus definitely is worth $40 to me. It definitely is worth it. So all combined, $80 isn't too out of the realm of questionability. If you're waiting for a sale, I don't see one happening. And at the time of recording this, even with holiday sales, the rest of the 30th anniversary have seen significant sales, but not this set. This set has been at full price this entire holiday season, so I don't foresee this going on sale ever until the end of its life. I'm guessing Lego knows that the Brachiosaurus is going to sell this set, so $80 is well worth the purchase to me. All in all, set is going to get an 8.5 out of 10 from me. Again, highly recommend it. Definitely for the first ever Brachiosaurus. Hopefully we get some more in some different colors, but comment below, let me know, do you like the new Brachiosaurus mold? Do you like this set? Do you think do you agree with some of my criticisms? Comment below, let me know. If you like this review, subscribe to the channel so you can see more like it. Ring the bell so you're actually notified of when I upload content, because YouTube sucks at that. Smash the like button, all that jazz really helps the channel in the algorithm. And I will see you in the next video. Until next time, brick on.